So today's ticker is ONDO Finance, the ticker ONDO, ONDO. So a lot of this is tokenization. So this is a real world asset play. Really good project. I recommend you look into it. But let's look at it from a chart perspective. So what have we got? So we have our all-time low and our all-time highs marked out here. And we've got a monthly level there and a monthly level there, and I'll make both of these lines white, and I will write monthly and monthly. So breaking it down onto a lower time frame, what do we have? So if we go like this and have a look, what can we see? Well, we can see our monthly level is also supported by quite a strong weekly level. We've got a weekly level there. We have a weekly level there. We've got a weekly level there. And so we'll go through and we'll mark these on. And another one here. So as we can see, and there's actually a weekly level there as well. So mark that on. So as you can see, some nice gaps on the chart. So if we go down onto the daily, what do we have? We zoom out, we can see quite a nice pattern. We have this really solid push up here where we can see that this weekly was the impulse. And this monthly level here is where we have had resistance, resistance, a little bit of support, support, resistance, support, resistance, resistance, support. So this monthly level is a really strong level. If we zoom in to this top side, what can we see? So there's a few interesting daily levels. So I think you've got an interesting daily level there. There's another one up here where you've got quite a strong reversal. If we look at some of the more historical price action, and zoom across, what do we have? I think that's a really interesting level there, that 102. And another one there. What do we have higher? We don't really have any higher levels, which is interesting. I will say I'm currently in a position on ONDO. I'd longed from down here, and I was planning on shorting here. As we can see, there's a big liquidity zone here, and we can see it's wicked in, taken the liquidity and moved down. If we look at where the volume sits on this, I think this will back up a little bit of what we are looking at. We can go and we can see, yeah, this here is a really strong zone. So if we box this out over there, and if we box out here, you can see really strong zone. If we look on the top side, yeah, you can see, look, this was all liquidity. So what I would do is I would get this, I'll draw that there, and I'll make this a slightly different color. We'll make that green, and we'll just put liquidity. So we can see a really big liquidity zone here. Come in, taking it. So what can you expect from this now? I think on this, what I would potentially be looking at is it to come back down in here and look to sort of retest this zone here. If it doesn't hold this zone here, you're then looking for a reaction down in this zone. So ultimately, if I was looking for entries on this for a long, I would potentially see how it reacted in this zone. If it didn't hold this zone, I'd then potentially be looking at an entry around here, and you've got quite easy invalidation, because essentially if you go below here, then you can see you're invalidated at that point, and if you drop below there, you're probably looking for a retest around this zone here. Or alternatively, you probably aren't too late for a short if you wish to, and you could potentially put some short orders in this liquidity zone, see if you get a push up into your order, and then comes down, and you have a take profit zone here, and you've got a take profit zone here, and then potentially, should the market come crashing down, which I'm not sure it will, you then potentially have a runner zone down here to 76 cents. But yeah, quite a lot of targets. As you can see, it's pushed straight into this liquidity zone and come back down. This zone here, it should move quite quickly through it. If you look at sort of the previous candles, big candle, big candle, big candle, big candles. So it should move through this zone quite quickly. But yeah, plenty of opportunity on this ticker. So definitely one to keep an eye on. Yeah, some great levels to trade on this, and on both sides. And I think this could be an interesting one for the watch list.